Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian Nato and Samantha Perry with you on an absolutely picture-perfect, beautiful, a little bit loud and busty here kind of day at Gulfstream Park. We are off the turf in race 2. Overnight rains and in the area, but we're going to be on there for the rest of the card, and it's a good one as well. The return of Candyman Rocket in the Gulfstream Park Sprint a little later on. Fast main track, good turf course. And, of course, as it always is, the Rainbow Six is the big news around here, and we have surpassed $500,000.
And it just will grow even bigger today. I mean, they put a lot of money into this just in a day in and day out basis, but we've got a good card here today. Good racing all around, and I think that this will be, 650?
Yeah,
maybe?
I like it.
I
got a big number, yeah. I think so. It's going to be massive today, and the late part of the card held together. We are on the turf in the entirety of the Rainbow Six sequence, which is great to see.
Yep.
Really good feature as well today. Again, the Candyman Rocket, who thinks he owns this place here at 4 for 4 and defending champion. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But let's get to the early pick 5, which will be a massive pool. It's been in the $750,000 range on Saturday. So the first and the second race got dinged up a little bit in terms of top picks. I lost my top pick in the first race. Race number 2, now that is the off-the-turf race. So just take note of that at 1.16 on the Tapeta. I left everything the same, the 5 parallel on top, but Carrington now I think is a major, major move up in there. Take note of that. Couple of singles in a row. I'm not looking to try to beat Cruisin' Man in race 3. My best bet is Batten Down in race 4. And in race number 5, the 4, Busy Malene is probably going to be a short price on a big drop, but I'm also going to use, I don't necessarily trust her, so I'm going to use the 7, Harlan's Legacy for Safi Joseph Jr. off the claim. That is a $16 early pick 5 ticket. And let's get into the opener now. 5.5 on the Tapeta. We're sprinting in a 12.5 maiden claimer. We do have 3 scratches of the 1 time miss. The 6 Nipsey is out, and then all the way to the outside, the 11 Queen Honesty is out. I lost my top pick, the 9, or I scratch into the 9, excuse me, who is your top pick, always was.
Yes.
Red Hot Spark.
Yep, it was. I just feel like this filly on the class drop,
Yep.
it's kind of her day, and she ran well last time.
Yep.
And Siphon City Girl flattered her a bit, coming back on short rest for Donna Green, and she looks solid here.
Yeah, I think so, too. I was stabbing a little bit, but she is clearly now the one to beat,
Yeah.
and I think the scratches are going to lower her. Unfortunately, 3 to 5 right now. A lot of betting to go on. Well, look at that. It's impossible that we are straight in a row here. I did lose a couple of my picks. Taking it all, the 3 horse is going to get some money. If you believe in the last race, you're allowed not to believe in it, but if you do, she's a big threat in here.
Yeah, she could be, but at the end of the day, this field is what it is.
Yeah.
I feel like so it's not like I'm running to the bank on this
Right.
race by any means, but she's got a little bit of speed, and I think that will help her.
Yeah, you look at her form and you're saying, where did that come from?
Yeah.
She finally stuck around a little
She
bit.
did, yeah,
last
it was
time,
surprising.
So, to her credit, the early pick 4 is in race number 2. Now this is the one off the turf race today, so we'll go 1.16 on the Tapeta. Maiden optional claimer for the 3-year-old fillies. The beauty of it, we just lost one horse. That is the 9. Pay the bills. I'll tweet out my ticket. It's a run back of my early pick 5, and we are both on the same horse in here. That's parallel, and we can show you why right now.
This is on the grass.
Yeah.
So read into that what you will, but Parallel actually does have a Tapeta outing 2 starts back. This filly went a different direction than she's had in the past. She was rated this time. And I thought she ran very well at this. And honestly, I feel like the Tapeta just moves her up.
Yeah, I agree. She had a little bit of a trip that day. She kept running on here under Paco. I would be very surprised if Paco employs the same tactics.
Yeah.
Look at her gaining literally with every stride. I expect her to be a lot closer today. I'm sure Paco will put her in the race, and she makes a lot of sense on both surfaces, and I think Samantha's right. The Tapeta might even move her up a little bit. Cool Tricks is going to run 2 turns on the Tapeta for the first time, and that could help her today.
I think so, too. And she's got in her Tapeta races, she wasn't on the lead by any means, but those were quick fractions, and I think she could be a little bit part of the front group here.
I think Citrus Bell's a real danger because she's going to run long on the Tapeta for the first time and for a tag for the first time, so don't sleep on her. The one I do want to quickly mention, though, is the 3 Carrington. She had a real trip on debut. It was on Tapeta. It was at 2 turns. That is a tough thing to do. She was 42-1 that day. She's going to add Lasix. She'll be a number in here. I think she's very, very playable in a spread kind of ticket race sequence. Race number 3, we're back on the Tapeta and a starter 50 allowance here. 5 furlongs on the Tapeta for the 4-year-olds and up. A couple of scratches in here of the 5, Vamos Viajo, and the 7, Jam Session. And we're good TV here now. Cruising Man's going to be tough. I mean, that was a seismic win last time.
It was, and he's got speed.
Yeah.
And we see it a lot with the Tapeta races, especially after we get some rain, Brian, that it plays well to be a bit more forwardly placed. And it's not like we got heavy rains by any means, but it was a little bit on the cooler side this morning and last night. So this horse just looks down the road. I wondered last time, was he going to hang around at 5.5?
Right.
Well, he did, and he ran everybody off their feet.
And he's cutting back, and he's 7-5 on the morning line. He could be 2 or 3-5 now because not only are there 2 scratches out of this race on horses that would have taken a little money, Jam Session was the one horse that
could nag him.
Could nag him a little bit. There ain't nobody in here now that's going to be a threat to Cruising Man up front. Tivy ran well last time, but Tivy doesn't have any early speed, and that's a problem for Tivy.
It is, yeah. He'll be coming out the back, and same kind of goes for Seaver, but I think they're just going to be left with way too much to do.
Very important race in the 4th today. It's a maiden special weight at 9 furlongs on the main track. This is a Florida Derby kind of feeder race. I'm sure the winner will have it, front and center. Troublemeister, the 3, is out. He was back on short rest. This is a good one here now. A lot of talent in this race.
Yeah.
We're going to start it with you on the outside with Sturdy, who's on the comeback trail here for George Weaver. Mike Rapoli, too.
Yeah, George Weaver, he's a barn that just clicks right
Sure.
along and has been this whole meet. This horse is exiting a race at Belmont at Aqueduct where the winner, Domestic Product, was second in our Holy Bull.
I like that horse.
Yep, he ran on huge, and that was a horse who Sierra Leone was working all on top of before winning the Lecomte, or Risen Star, pardon me, yeah. This horse gets Lasix on for the first time. He ran a huge number that time. I think he's fit enough. Now, I can't see the work, so because there's none of him, but the Lasix should move him up, and he's drawn well.
Yeah, it's not a huge layoff, but we're going a very demanding 9 furlongs today, so it's a lot. But George is not a guy that's really going to ease him into it. And you got to remember too now, it's go time, because if you want to be a threat on the Triple Crown trail, if you want to run in a race like the Florida Derby, you got to have the screws a little tighter today. So I wouldn't be shocking at all if George has got him. We're going to show you Batten Down, the 4, in the 5, Corporate Power. Batten Down is my best bet of the day here. What a pedigree. Tap it out of the mare Close Hatches. Both of them in Close Hatches was a multiple Grade 1 winner. Now, Batten Down's got some speed, okay, while Corporate Power's got none of it. He did break slow that day. Now, Batten Down is going to get tired here. This is the crazy fast race with Speakeasy and Victory Avenue, fastest horse in the country. But Batten Down ran a little bit, and I think Batten Down he might just get loose in here because the scratch is key. Troublemeister had a lot of speed. I don't see any other speed in here anymore.
No, there's not. And when you say speed, you got to use that term very loosely because it is it's not super quick speed, but it's speed for this group at least. Batten Down, I didn't feel like was anywhere near being ready.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah,
too.
so this is good that the tightener's out of the way, but don't you want Corporate Power out of that race instead? Really?
Not with that running style.
See,
no,
so
not at all.
Javier Castellano at the end of that race, he was tapping the horse on the shoulder to kick on, to keep going, which is good. You want a jockey to do that on these races, these younger horses, and it concerns me for my pick that he chose more than likely to ride Corporate Power over a horse he had been on 2 different times. The Sturdy, my pick.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, you got a Hall of Famer. You got Don Adam here with Cortland Farm. They spent a lot of money, so maybe Javier. I just the running style is always a turnoff to me because in theory, you think they're always going to come back or that they're going to be running on with that style. It doesn't always work out that way.
That's true.
You know, a rough shot for Todd coming across the state from Tampa. He fell on the lead last time. He doesn't have any speed at all. That was his stablemate that won. His stablemate, that horse, Tireless, came back and was nowhere in the Davis at 17-1.
Yeah.
That's not a good race at all.
No.
I think we're on the right three.
I think so,
here.
yeah.
Race number 5, that ever popular middle pick 5 here, 1.16 on the Tapeta. These are fillies and mares 4 and up. The tag is $10,000. The scratch of the 8 Cool Front is out of this race. We'll start with you, Streaking Gray, off the claim for Bobby Hess Jr.
Well, the gang is all here.
Yeah.
I don't have anything clever to add between Winning at Ease, Harlan's
Right.
Legacy, and Shrieking Gray. I just feel like maybe today is Shrieking Gray's turn.
Could be.
Yeah.
Didn't get it done at 90 cents on the dollar.
Yeah.
I made Busy Malene 5-2. I mean, she could be 6-5 in here if they bet her. I mean, it's a massive drop.
Yeah.
And she ran better than all these horses anyway last time.
And it was her first start on the Tapeta here.
Yeah.
And that's significant because that's hard to do. And now she's got those screws tightened.
Yeah.
It just seems like that is go time now.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And the drop here, I don't know if she's a little dressed up and tough to trust, but we'll see. I kind of did what you did, Harlan's Legacy out of that race. I just didn't want to pick Winning at Ease. Here's the problem, okay? Winning at Ease, who's the 5 horse in here, she beat Streaking Gray and she beat Harlan's Legacy last time at 48-1.
That was amazing. And that race, I don't know where that came from. It kind of seems like she just wins one big race a year and that's it.
I mean, you could argue you didn't even get enough at 48-1 last
Yeah.
time. You have no idea where that race came
don't
from and
either.
why is she going to run back to it. So that's where you get tricky in here. Taking the gang is all here. Yeah, but I don't know how good the
gang is. Yeah.
Exactly right. One more before the break in race number 6, $1.70 on the Tapeta in this one. These are fillies, maidens 4 and up. The tag is 12-5. Scratch of a few here. The 1 Awesome City, the 5 Nanga Parbat is out. A couple
Wow.
of them. Yeah, you like that?
Yeah,
huh?
that was good.
Pretty smooth. Just act like you know it, and then everybody says, maybe he does know what he's talking about. The 2 Paradise Drive will be down on the inside now for you. Another one of those horses. If you believe in the last race, okay. 20.
Yeah.
You know what they say, right?
No, what do they say?
21st time is always a charm.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
So you're in a good spot
I
today.
am,
Go
yeah.
for 20.
Lucky me. And
Yeah.
the rail, the golden rail too. Yeah, we'll see about the rail. He was exiting a race where it was a very heavy speed bias on the Tapeta that day too.
Yeah.
So, gosh, again, this is a race that it's like just throw a dart and you see our picks from it. It's hard to separate. I could tell you more about who I don't think has a chance
Sure.
than who does.
You got to think Over the Surface has a huge
Yes.
chance because he got to the Tapeta last time. He was nowheresville at Tampa. Now they're begging somebody to claim this
Yeah.
horse. They didn't last time, but he's only run twice. He's got upside.
They might do it now. I hear
They
the
might do it
third
now.
time is the charm
Okay.
with that, yeah.
All right, I got you there. I mean, he's, stop, Barry the Builder. No, not 7 days rest. Back on Tapeta. We just saw him last week,
We
burning some money again.
They always bet him. They love to bet Barry the Builder. Is today the day? I don't think so, but it's a drop. They're begging somebody to take this horse. Just please take him.
Why would today be the day?
I don't know.
How about the 12 Southern Civility from nowhere in here? Wicked Tapeta drill on February 2nd.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he likes it. He's never been over it. Never been on any kind of all-weather surface. It's Kathleen O'Connell bringing him over from Tampa. Huge drill on February 2nd.
It is. And the layoff I don't really worry about because I say this a lot. The Tapeta tends to carry horses
Yeah.
who are not 100% fit. So
February 24th, I should say.
Why not?
Yeah, why
Yeah.
not? Just taking a stab. I don't know. Sometimes I have noticed they bet these kind of horses that
They do.
work big on it. So we'll see
Big
what
time.
happens there. Yeah, big time, right? So half of the card here. When we come back, it's Rainbow Six time. Ron's got the ticket. He'll be with us a little bit later. $550,000 in the estimated jackpot. It's going to be massive today. Stay tuned.
And they're off.
with new DRF All Access past performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access past performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
All right, we teased it before we left you. It's rainbow time now in race number 7. 550 in the estimate. My partner and I both have the over comfortably on that one,
Yes.
although I will say the estimates have been spot on.
They have, yeah.
Ronnie's got a ticket. He's warming up. He's going to come out here. I think he's on 2 races today, maybe 3. He said he wanted some time off.
This is
so.
this guy who just, yeah. All right. Do you
40
still work here? I didn't know.
43.20 for Ron in the old standard playbook. He's got a 3x3x3 early pick 3. You can see he's going 2 deep. And in race number 11, that is the return now in the Gulfstream Park Sprint of Candyman Rocket. And I am with my buddy Ron. I will not look to beat him today. I know Samantha's got a price in there that she likes. But I'm on Candyman Rocket as well. And then Ronnie, as he always does, and I won't give it away, but I know he likes to go long shot looking in the finale on the turf. That is the Nicoletti special. And he's already popped, I think, twice, maybe 3 times, once at 25-1 to end the Rainbow 6 that day, too. Remember that?
Yeah,
Wow.
impressive.
So anyway, 43-20, and Ron will be out here to talk about that in a little bit. But let's kick it off here now. This is a beast of a sequence. You and I were talking about it the other day. It is not easy. Oh, that's right. Whoa, how did we miss that? TTP3, somebody in my ear.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm kicking myself because yesterday I only took the 3 instead of the 9 with Johanny. I didn't think it would be conducive to have them both.
Yeah.
Paid $553. I could have just it was an $18 ticket. That was the only leg I missed.
Wasn't Johanny like 4-5 after the scratches?
Yes.
I think? Wow.
So anyway, that just goes to show you how much these pay. We'll get to this race. I've got Papillo singled in race number 10. In the finale, I hope Ron's long shot is not the 12 because I don't have that one. I don't have a very strong opinion this race. What do you do with Typhoon Fury? I've got him on top, but as you see, I don't have a strong opinion. We'll get in it a little bit, but this pays huge. 15% takeout, $3 minimum. Get after this bet because it pays. It pays.
It sure does. It routinely pays comfortably over the parlay. Routinely and comfortably over the parlay. All right, let's start it out here. This is so tricky. I'm interested to see what you're doing in this spot. You are on the 3 American Retro. Going to see a first turn for the first time.
Well, she saw a lot of hills and whatnot at Kentucky Downs. Before, when I saw this filly running in Kentucky, I thought that this was looked like a grass filly, just the way she traveled, and they ran her at Kentucky Downs. I don't trust a horse if they run well or they run poorly at Kentucky Downs. She didn't show a lot.
She didn't do either, though. She was okay. I mean,
she wasn't horrible, but she wasn't great. But what I like about Ian Wilkes is he keeps her on it. He's going to try her again and give her a fair shot. And if she doesn't like it this time, okay, boom. And if you're a sheep player, you're going to see her 12 at Kentucky Downs and they see the 7 and the 9s at Ellis and Churchill and go, okay, no, I'm not going to play her. And that was my initial thought with her. But then when I looked it up a bit more, there was one work of her, and that was early January, I think January 3rd, something to that sort on the grass. She wasn't even let run. She's had plenty of time to work since then. Jorge Ruiz, here's the thing. He's going to have to go. He has to go with her. Otherwise, I don't. If he doesn't, then I don't feel confident anymore.
If you're not familiar with Jorge, he does a really good job. He does a really good job on the turf. Rides a lot for Grand Motion. He's made a dent here, I think, under the radar kind of dent. You know, we talk about the Irads and the Pacos and the Luis Saez's. You know, these are guys, and Jorge Ruiz is really, really good. Let's show you the gang here because they're here again as well. Boston Rose is the 9 today. Royal Dame and Typee. And to me, there's only one horse I want out of this race, and that's Boston Rose. Okay, this was a meltdown race. 1, 2, 3 at the line, 10, 9, 11 early. Here's Boston Rose, though, the 7, the whole entire way in her first start since April, in her first start for Christophe Clement, and she's going to gut this out, and she's going to be 4th. She is the only one I want out of this race.
Yep.
Typee's going to loop. Typee ran well as her first start in quite some time as well, but I think Boston Rose, to me, Samantha, is going to move way, way up in a race that not only she clearly needed, but she did all the dirty work in here, and she wins the battle, loses the war. I think she moves up huge today.
And this filly definitely needed the race, too. That was a long layoff and first USA start, so I agree. I would not be playing Royal Dame, and I would not be playing Typee. They played the gun runner for Jose D'Angelo again yesterday, and I don't get it. But Typee they will bet 6-1. I bet they bet her.
Yeah, she could be, but this is not a running style that wins turf races unless you see what happens, and it's not going to happen today. Oligata, bad post. The AEs are the only ones out of here, 13 deep. Oligata, bad post, but she's okay.
Yeah, again, she's just okay.
Yeah, be over bet probably for Chad.
Yes.
As well, race number 8 kicks off the late pick 5 here. 5 on the Tapeta for 4-year-olds and up. It's a starter optional claimer, kind of a late scratch of the 6 Jester's Honor. We'll take a look at Samantha's ticket now.
This is a good sequence here. It's tough. It's $60 for me. My single, there's Papillo. Race 11, I don't trust Candyman Rocket. I don't really like Candyman Rocket. I never have. I wonder if his time is behind him. I think Loco Barrio might be sneaky. We'll get to this race. He's number 2 in there. But I do have the 9 on top. That's my long shot, Hurricane J. And in the finale, again, it's a spread race for me. It's going to be a tough one. $60 to play. These have been paying huge as well. Get involved in these. I love playing them, the early and the late ones, but this late one looks like this is tough. You could put another $60 at it probably.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's a fascinating race because no deliberation. Okay, the 5 horse is 6 for 6 on the Tapeta.
Yeah.
They never bet him. Somehow he was 9-1 in a 6-horse field last time. I didn't have him, but he's right back here looking for a 7-pack for Pete Walder, and I didn't pick him. Did you? No, I did pick him, excuse me, but I didn't single him.
I picked him, but I didn't single him.
And I've never picked him.
No.
So, we're on him?
Yeah, well, let's show the replay.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, let's show the replay because you've got No Deliberation, Outlaw,
Super
Super Classy here. I mean, yeah, you said it, 9-1. Look at that. And he's won his last 4 races. Now, there's been some space between the last one and the 3 before that, but he's one that completely blows my theory of winning back-to-back races on the Tapeta out of the water.
And does it the hard way, too, making first run into a pretty hot pace, and he's now 6 for 6 on the Tapeta. Pete Walder's a sharp guy, and you ain't getting no deliberation for a tag anymore. He's going to, he's not dangling him anymore, and he's clearly the one to beat. We'll see. I mean, to the outside is Outlaw Country, and he did well to draw outside, but you look at the past performances, and No Deliberation is always going to get first run on Outlaw Country.
Exactly. It just kind of leaves him behind the 8 ball.
Right.
If somebody goes and maybe nags No Deliberation, it would set up better for Outlaw.
Yeah, I agree with that. Commandant off the claim for Rohan on the inside might have to go there, but this is a massive rise in class. When you're going from a 3L win into a group like this, it's
tough.
It is huge, to get out of the restricted races. All right, late pick 4 in race number 9. This is a doozy of a sequence as well. A mile and 70 on the Tapeta, 4 and up here. The tag is 10. We'll take a quick look at my ticket here, and then we'll get into this race. We do have a scratch of the 3, and then the 13 and the 14 are out as well. Race 10 is that turf race. I'm not going to not use Papilio. I'm against her today. I'm on the 5 Ocean Club in a stab. I'm not trying to beat Candyman Rocket, so we'll have some good talk there. And then in the finale, the 3-horse Mo Caliente is a price for me. I don't know, maybe Lasix is what she needs. We'll see on that. $18 here. I got my long shot in here. What do you got going on here? Because this does kind of look like a long shot race. You are way to the outside with the 12. Ernesto, who I've tried in the past as a long shot too, really woke up last time, huh?
Yeah, and this was a sneaky good race
because
he was on a rail, just kind of weaving through horses. we'll see title forces, I think, tomorrow, right?
I believe,
Against Fly the W. So pay attention to how he does today. I don't know about this post here for this
Yeah.
horse. That could be tricky, but he showed a bit more urgency to get involved early last time.
Yeah, he's a threat in here. I mean, this is a tough
It is,
race. This
yeah.
is my long shot restored order. He ran off with the apprentice last time, and we'll just kind of leave it at that. Well, there's no apprentice on today. Paco is here today,
Yeah.
and Paco is as good a speed rider, front-end rider, finishing rider as we have, and Paco's not going to let this horse run off, but he's going to make the front.
And that's a good thing because all of these horses do not have a devastating turn of foot.
No, exactly, and we might just be able to gallop him into the ground. So that is
Exactly.
my long shot here.
Yeah.
You got him in the mix as
Yeah.
well, and we both have the 8-2 Sand Dancer. I'm not going to say I don't trust him. It's Marty Drexler. He comes in off a big win last time, but like you like to say, can we double up today?
Yeah, and also he won because he had a little bit of extra room as well,
Yeah.
I felt like. So you can't ride a race long enough for
No.
him.
And I don't know if beating Gucci Bra is any big deal anymore like we might have once
No.
thought it was.
Not anymore.
All right, here's a good one in the 10th now to kick off the late pick 3. This is an optional claimer for the gals, fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. It's clean. There's a 10 of them here. And is Papilio your best bet of the day?
No.
Okay, but you like her. You got her
I
single.
do, yeah.
Okay.
I got her singled, and we'll just show a work of her because I think it's important to see just how well she's working. She is not much to look at all. You could barely see her there on the outside. Just Elysian Field is massive compared to her. She looks like a little pony, but she was never let out an inch in this race here. She's fit coming in. She's getting Lasix for the first time. She does things easily. She's back on this course that I think suits her well, just the way she travels here. And she's just in hand, too. And that was a work on February 9th. That was 2 works back. They slowed her down that last work, which I like coming into this race. I think Lasix is really going to help her.
Yeah, I know you like to say that, and I've kind of been turned on to that as a 4-year-old now. She gets Lasix. I don't have any knocks against her. She never wins. I guess that would be my knock.
Yeah.
I feel like people are going to look at all those graded stakes races and they're going to be impressed, but they're against 3-year-olds. She's
That's true.
tackling older horses.
Yeah, she is. And that can be tough.
Yeah, it can be tough, and I'm sure DJ and the guys, Jonathan, there's bigger goals in mind too. Well, let's talk about my top pick, and then
Yeah.
I want to talk about something. Ocean Club's kind of a stab, but she's got speed. She's back now at 4. Maybe like Papilio, maybe she's a little bigger and tougher this year. I don't know.
Yeah, she
You
could
know?
be. And the race at Del Mar, she was really outside of the winner. She was the only one that ran well that race. I didn't really feel like it was a very strong race.
Yeah, and she's been here too before.
Exactly.
So what's Sweet Danny Girl doing in this race? We talked about it the other day. I said I picked her. She couldn't lose the last race. I said they bought this horse to win graded stakes races. What's she doing in here? It's weird to me.
I don't know. Well, at the end of the day, she is a 5-year-old mare,
Right.
Florida bred. She got that race out of the way, and you see how Christophe Clement really moved her up. I don't know. This is a tough group.
It is a tough group. I just kind of felt like she, stakes in the future. Listen, there's $92,000 on the line. You're not giving it away here.
No.
So, I mean, it's not like it's chump change. But I just kind of felt she would be in a graded stake. So that's why, again, you didn't pick her. I didn't pick her.
No.
And maybe they bet Papilio, but she's one of the 2 favorites in here. So we'll see. All right, the 11th is the return of Candyman Rocket in the Gulfstream Park Sprint here. 6 furlongs on a fast main track, 4 and up, long shot scratch. Speed scratch, though, of the 8, Toto Fino. You got a price in here. You go first, and then we'll go from there.
Well, maybe this can be another speed horse as well. The 7 furlongs was not his game with Hurricane J, and they had him entered in the race at Tampa against Sibelius again, and they said, no way, let's keep the horse here. He does things easily as well in the mornings. I haven't seen any recent works, but the race 2 starts back when they first got the horse. He just was working like a monster, and it looks like he's got that same pattern. Good draw, too.
Yeah, I don't like him at all, but I will say this. The scratch of the heat that Toto Fino is going to bring to this race helps him a lot.
Yes,
He's
I
not
agree.
going to have to work as hard up front. Let's show Candyman Rocket winning this race last year. He's 4 for 4 at Gulfstream Park. Yes, he's 6 years old. Yes, he hasn't been out since, July. He's really good, and he's 4 for 4 here, and he's 2 for 8 everywhere else.
This is one of these horses that when he wins, you say, oh, man, I overthought this.
Yep.
And if he loses, you go, oh, man, why didn't I see this?
Right.
I don't like the way he travels at all. He just switched his leads there a couple yards before. He's such an odd horse to me that I'm always shocked how well he runs, just the way he kind of travels. He looks good coming into this race. I mean, if he runs that same race, he loves it here.
Yeah.
They're not going to beat him.
He doesn't wow you, and I think that's maybe one of the reasons you could be a little skeptical. I think Run Classic is, maybe it's not today, but he's with Jose D'Angelo now, and I think that's very, very noteworthy because he's really, really good. Okay, we got to talk about Dean Delivers, our old buddy. I have no idea where his form is. I just don't know.
Yeah, it was a heartbreaking loss to Shaq Diesel for Dave Fox, and Shaq Diesel came back to win here.
You had him, yeah.
Yeah, it was a very impressive race. I don't know where his form is. That's a great question, but I like the fact that he's back to 6 furlongs.
Yeah, I think that's going to help, but it's just been 2 races. Okay, a mile, 2 back, and 7 last time, but they were against State Breds, restricted races. 2 straight races now. We haven't seen the Dean Delivers that we know and love.
Is the best behind him.
Yeah, because he was so good in the Smile, and he went up to Saratoga and the Vanderbilt against 2 kind of champions, Gunite and Elite Power, and he ran that day, and I just wonder if it's taken Mike a little time. We'll see.
Probably knocked them out.
Probably
right?
so,
Yeah,
right? So we're going to
like.
see what we get. I think this is an important race for Dean Delivers today.
to kind of put up or shut up.
Good luck in the finale. It is a tough 12-pack here on the turf in a maiden special weight. 3-year-olds and up. It's clean. Only the AEs are out, and this is a phenomenal betting race. If you need to get out, this is your race. Okay, Typhoon Fury is supposed to be a heavy favorite in here. He made a dent twice in a row against winners, and now finally they put him in a spot where he belongs.
Yeah.
But, there's no margin for error. There's none of it.
No, there's not. And that's the thing with him. The races he was in, those were tough. And sometimes those can have an effect on a horse.
You said it, right. So, it's George Weaver, and George is so sharp, and we'll see what we get today. He's clearly the horse to beat, but, you don't have to take a short price on him either. I'm just going to stab with Mo Caliente in here. Maybe the Lasix helps. The run at Keeneland 2 back was so good. The run here at 13-10 was so bad.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And he just sat just a nice little stalking trip. And I know that was a bit of a head scratcher, but maybe he just needed the race. He looks like on paper he's been working well since then.
Yeah.
So there's a turnaround in play.
And Rusty Arnold's quietly had a very, very good.
Agreed, yeah.
Yeah, Mo Suppresso. I'm sorry, I can't play Brendan Walsh right now. Simple as that.
Well,
Barnes not winning.
but he won yesterday.
Okay.
And maybe this is what kind of cranks things around.
Right.
Maybe. Trust
Horse
me.
ran well last time.
I agree, yeah, and he did run well. So I'm going to give him a shot here.
Yeah.
I was against him last time, but I'm going to take a shot here.
You see it right there in the form. Lasix, 2 turns, and turf, and they really, really woke up. Good post today as well, so we'll see. What a card today. What a rainbow, what a late 5, what a late 4.
Tough, yeah.
Absolutely. Lightning round quickly before we go. And if you're here with us, just pop into Silks because I think the Saudi Cup they were running behind, but I think at around 12:40.
Probably, yeah.
And, of course, National Treasure and Senior Buscador are there.
Yeah, they were 1-2 in the Pegasus World Cup. We had, we're very well represented in the Saudi Cup because we have Florida Derby winner White Barrio running there as well. You see Senior Buscador running them down, grinding them down, but National Treasure was too good.
Yeah.
It's cool to see that both of these horses went up there to take a shot at it. You got to tip your hand a little bit to Ben Tornado earlier. He ran a huge race.
Yeah.
So second and third in that race. And so that's exciting.
And Hoist the Gold's there as well.
That's
for
right.
Dally,
and Hoist the Gold. Yeah, so a lot of we're represented well there.
Yep. Ron Nicoletti will be with me in the opener here shortly. He has beat the expert today. He's very excited about that. Look how excited he is.
He's so excited. Wow. Yeah. He's been waiting for this moment the whole time. So pick more winners than him or not, and you could win some money.
Yeah. $500 if you're live here in Silk. So get over there and register. $50 at home.
Yep.
And you got to beat the legend, Ron Nicoletti.
Yes, that's what we should change it just for him.
Absolutely, we should. And he's going to be out here for the opener. Can't wait for that. It's coast to coast as well. TTP pick 3. Don't forget those 2 either. And what do we got? I like this window here now. We're inside of 2 hours. I think that's the beauty of this bet.
It is. And 3 races from here, and they're competitive ones. We've got the sprint, and we've got 2 grass races.
Yeah, That's going to be a good one.
Huge. Yeah.
TTP pick 3, of course, as well. 15% takeout, $1 or $3 minimum. So that's coming up a little later as well. 7, 10, and 12 today. Samantha's got that ticket. She's giving out good tickets, tickets that hit, tickets that always pay more than the parlay. And let's go quickly. Your best bet today?
My best bet is Sturdy. We have dueling best bets.
Oh, wow.
There we go.
Okay, because I'm in the same race with Batten down.
Yeah.
The Juddmonte homebred. Your long shot?
Hurricane J.
Oh, yeah, 15-1. Probably going to get knocked a little bit by the scratch, but that horse should be very, very good value. And I'm a little earlier trying to get loose on the Tapeta with Paco, and that is Restored Order at 8-1 in race number 9. They're both in those late sequences. Pete Aiello is upstairs to run you through the scratches and changes. A huge Saturday here at Gulfstream Park. We're going to draw the Fountain of Youth later as well. My goodness, the excitement never ends. Pete's upstairs to guide you through. Back for the opener shortly.